Hi, what's up, people? You're gonna get a stale one of these without a thumbnail or anything, like usual, because Neil doesn't want to edit my fucking videos. Or he says he will, but then he won't. So this is going to be the West Coast playbook. This is what the top... So if I could list the top 5 players in the game right now, 3 of them are pass heavy and 2 of them like to run a little bit more. The 3 that pass, they all use this playbook, they all use this formation, and they do it all like this. I've been kind of studying this from off them for a month now. So really everything is exact. Like there's no questions about this. These are the setups that they run, and a few of stuff that I like to run, but most of it I've learned from them. Most of it is not from me. So the formation is bunch weak. So bunch is always really prominent in Madden, but bunch weak this year is just really good. It's better than regular bunch. It's got better plays, and we're going to start off by setting our audibles. So your square is going to want to be stick, which what I do is it's just like I go into the audibles, and then it's down down square, and then R1 down down, and you're putting mesh posts in at the R1. Then you can keep verticals, and the triangle is just going to be 3 down and then corner strike right there. So this is going to be your audible setup. You can keep out corner strike and put like a run or something like that if you like to change into a run, but the shotgun runs from like this formation just suck. So I don't run them. I don't like them. Some people have success with it, but I don't, and I'm a non-believer in it. Actually, wait, counter-wise, not supposed to be. It's supposed to be stick. So this is the accurate, updated version of what Gumbutch Week, the audible, should be like. And we're going to start with stick, because stick is kind of the, I think it's the best play. A lot of people think mesh post is the best, but we're going to run with, a lot of people like to do 3-4 odd, and we're going to start with, let's see, cover 2 can be beat by this, like any of these plays, but I'll just start with cover 3 sky. A lot of people like to run curls, and so come out stick. The first setup, streak Thielen, and I use the Vikings so that we have the slot apprentice, and we're gonna drag Diggs. You can keep him on a slant if you want, if you find that to be better, but I like to keep him on a drag just because I think that like the square is my last read, so I don't want it tapering up. And the first thing I look for is, if you look right on the very far right side, don't know the name of that corner, but we're reading if that corner drops down or stays up, and it's an immediate quick read. Just like that, we get about 5 yards, and you're gonna want to be unconservative or hold R1 if you don't like to be unconservative, because I use Jamal Adams. I put the Jets as the other team for a reason, because Jamal Adams will pop you every single time. So that's the first setup. That's like the bread and butter. If we do the same thing here, this is a different type of setup. This I like to run to kind of fake them out, because a lot of the times when you're running verticals, what do? You motion them out. And you would, well, here I didn't change my play, so the curl is still out there. It's still a better read to throw to the tight end, but when you motion them out and you find that they're playing man, they're playing hard flats or anything like that, you can motion them out and you can like quick throw to Treadwell. But I don't really feel like changing the play, so I'm just gonna keep it simple. Like against a curl, like you're obviously gonna want to throw to the flats there. And when you start to do that, and they like keep running curls and quarters, so like cover 4, like the drop show bullshit that people run, and different like cover 3 sky that people like to sit in because they want you to dink and dunk. Do it. Keep dinking and dunking, and basically when you run this, it's just a battle of like finding ways to like change yourself up, so that, because if you keep running this against this like stupid cover 3 sky, like this tight end is going to be open every time, and you're going to be able to actually even stiff arm if you want to like gain 2 more yards. So obviously like Jamal Adams, like if you want to avoid Jamal Adams, you can flip the play and just run it on the other side, because the free safety for the Jets is a no-name. I don't know his name. So you would then just be able to like throw to Rudolph real quick. He gets up the field, and look at that. Like that's so many yards just because they don't have Jamal Adams on that side. So don't want to keep it, I don't want to make it too long. That's the first setup. Moving into the second setup of stick. So you're just putting Thielen on a post. So you have that corner and you have that post. The reason why we like this is because man, for one, it beats man really, really well. It's going to have to make the user decide. And I like to keep this slant on the field, but I sometimes just throw it in a drag. A drag is really good too. And you're going to want to also keep the Rudolph thing out there because it's just you want that high-low read. And, of course, we know that because this is cover 3, this is open. But actually, I think that the post would end up being open too. So if I run stick again, and then there's him, it might not be. But if I just run a drag here, like you can also look like, imagine if one of those linebackers weren't there. We just throw that because like their user would be one of those linebackers. Next setup is mesh post. Mesh post is, some people, like Henry said, aka Dribber Drown, he said this was his favorite play, or probably his favorite play. And I see Skimbo using this a lot too. Skimbo's known to be the greatest Madden player of all time. Some say problem, but Skimbo's like also mentioned a lot. If you ever watch the tournaments, they slob over Skimbo for some reason because he wins a lot. But he's running this too, and what he likes to do is motion out Treadwell. And just, like, I know it's a bad read, per se, like, but if there's no one in that area, like, we know this is cover 3, we know there's going to be a hook curl right there, so we know that that pass isn't going to be able to be completed. But I'm telling you, if that is even a sliver of a bit open, what you're going to want to do is you pass lead to the left, right, as you would do on, like, on a post. So sometimes you'd lead up, but you want to lead to the left, and then when you possession it, you hold the left stick to the left, and then you possession it, and it dives. And when you dive, I'm telling you, man, I can't tell you how many times I've tried to pick a ball, and I just can't because they're diving. Like, they dive and they catch it all the time. This is a great red zone thing to do. You just fit it in an area, and you dive, and you'll catch it every time. So yeah, that's one of the ways you can run mesh post. Another one is put Thielen on a little thingy, little hitch right there, and I like to block my running back every single time, and then you'd run this, you'd motion him out again. So like against cover 3, like I can't get the throw off, but if you have good pocket presence, I don't. You'd be able to see that the Thielen was wide open right there. So mesh post again, just so I can get it right. He goes out like that. We block hook. I'll slide to the right, and so we step up a little bit. He goes away, and then look at that. And that's exactly what happens in online games. Exactly. You just want to make sure when you're throwing hitches, you don't take too long. The second they run away, you're throwing to that hitch because they'll use it right back into it. So I think for mesh post, I just can't think of another setup that people run when it comes to mesh post. Like, you know, that's basically it. Like stalk and then that. That's it. So the next thing is Verts, and I love Verts. Verts is what makes this playbook sick because it messes with a lot of like. It messes with almost every single coverage. Like it makes the user have to guard that wheel route, and you might be thinking, oh well, what if they don't run man, Jack? Like I thought. A wheel was a man beater. Well, actually, it's a cover 3 beater. It's a cover 2 beater. It's a man beater. I don't know about cover 4 because like if it's cover 4 quarters, like there might be a guy over there. I don't know about that one. You might want to go underneath. You might want to throw short drags against those cover 4, but like cover 1, cover 2, cover 3 is all destroyed by that wheel route, and it basically means that the user has to pick. So what we're going to do, we're going to mess with the user. And what I like to do is I put Rudolph on an in because it sucks in where the M is, right over that linebacker. If they're not using that linebacker, it pulls him down. And if they're using the right and the left is still there, oh wait, that's what I just said, sorry. So they'll pull it down, but if they're using the left, they're also going to have to decide. And that fucks with them. I like to keep digs on an out. I mean a go. You can do whatever you want with them, but I always suggest keeping them on a streak. If that works for you, you can of course adjust. But motion this dude out. Of course we know they're in cover 3. So like in cover 3, that post is there, and look at that dive. They're not going to pick that shit. No way. No way in hell they're picking that if he dives. But damn, I'm going to have to pick a new play to show it to you against cover 2. You know how it works against man. Like, you just know. Like, you know that wheel's open, and if they user it, then the post is going to be open off the break. And so will the in with the tight end. Like, oh, that's just going to be open. And man, it's just a matter of if you get the ball off quick enough, if you're blocking enough people. So if I go down, and I'm going Verts, and then I'll go here. How about 3-4 instead? And well, you know how it runs against man, so I'll just do a pinch dog 2 press. Block my running back. I don't need him. And then I'll put Rudolph on that end. Thielen gets a nice little post. Now on Mutt, I have Torrey Holt. You put Slot Apprentice on him, of course. And then if you have Route, I think it's called Route Technician or something, that means that the cut is faster. So man, that post cut, that R1 cut, that's insane. So against, I think I picked cover 2 right here. You're just waiting on the wheel. So. And yes, that will happen right there. That hit stick, you want to make sure you're possession catching and falling to the ground. Maybe you're leading a little bit outside, because I picked Jamal Adams for that sole reason. Like, that's what's going to happen to you online. So if you want to battle test yourself in practice mode, just do this. And like, there's just no way. Like, of course, if you're a dumbass like me and you rack it like I just did there, you're going to drop it. But if you possession that shit, hold it away. I'll just do it one more time with a little possession, not be a dumbass. Step up in the pocket here. Will I get enough time? Oop. You're gonna want to click onto the receiver and not swerve out to go out of bounds, but you're gonna move in. That's a pro tip right there, to kind of stay in bounds if you ever get that situation. So yeah, just possession it. I don't know why I just did it again, but you get the gist. Just possession it. Even if they don't click on fast enough, if you're playing a noob, like, he's not going to click on fast enough, and he's not going to jar it away. But that, I'm telling you guys, throw it at the right time, and it will be caught. That zone will not come with it if you throw it at the right time. So I went over Verts in cover 3. I went over Verts in cover 2. Wait, did I go over in cover 3? Basically, in cover 3, the wheel. Oh yeah, well, I showed the post is going to be open, because they'll drag it down. And then if I didn't mention it, the wheel, you can throw, like, you can lead pass outside. Basically the same thing that just happened. That'll be open again. I literally just won a game to put me in the playoffs just because it beats cover 3, and you just have to use it. So then corner strike, and corner strike is for cover 2. You see someone playing cover 2 the whole time, and you notice that they're always sticking in clouds, or they're always sticking in hard flats. This is really great because it's also an easier read. So we're going to put a comeback over here. Sometimes I like to put an out. You can do that too. But since you got Cook, I like to block Cook. You can do that. And basically, you're just looking at if that corner comes down. He doesn't, so we'd be throwing to Rudolph. But I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of bored of throwing to Rudolph. So it's a cloud. And how it will work is it'll sometimes go with the post, and sometimes it won't. And that's why running Tampa 2 is kind of stupid, because they pick. They are not in the middle. They don't kind of decide. They don't play it how they're supposed to be played. No, they'll pick that corner or the Rudolph route. So I hope. See, like, it's a force. Don't throw that. Just throw it to the tight end. Like, the tight end's wide open. But if they're playing hard flats, for the sake of the video, if you don't want to watch how this works, you can skip like 20 seconds in the video. But if you do want to see how this works and when to throw it against hard flats, it works like this. This is the best hard flat beater in this whole playbook. This really is really good against it, and even better, it gets you a lot of yards. That's why I like it. Let's see. Cover 2 hard flat. Woo. Thielen goes on a streak. You have that flood to the left. Block him. Out. The out's there just if you want it. Aha. And look at that. That shit. Okay, well, I didn't run away from Jamal Adams, but like that shit's gone, bro. That's 40, 50 yards. You got a fast receiver in the slot. Like I said, like Torrey Holt. Actually, no, like the outermost. So it'd be like if you had Tyreek Hill. That is gone, and it's really good because of that. So just one more time, I'll show you. I'll try to get a touchdown out of it. Lead out. Bam. And that's like, if you throw that at like the 20-yard line on your own 20-yard line, that's 80 yards. Touchdown. No one's going to beat that. That's why corner strike's so special. That's why hard flats suck. Because a lot of the time, and this is very important, you're going to want to... So if you're throwing to Rudolph a lot, the first thing your opponent would think is, let me hard flat real quick. They might think to man up the tight end, All right, and if they man up the tight end with the linebackers, that just means that you can do a little bit more with the post. If you wanted to throw in a post with Thielen, it opens up the middle of the field, so just consider that. If you want to throw drags, consider that. But if you're utilizing that Rudolph flat, which you will be because it will always be open, and then they're going to want a hard flat, then you hit them with a good old corner strike, and they're going to be like, fuck, this offense is so good. Pro players should be running this. And then they'll realize that, oh wait, pro players are running this, and they're killing other pro players doing corner strike. So corner strike, really good against hard flats. Make sure you middle finger your opponent by throwing a Rudolph, and then they hard flat, and then you bomb it, and it's a touchdown. So that is it for passing. Moving on to running. You're also going to want to run in this playbook, and thank God running is sick this year, and thank God there's a formation for it. So we have tight. I form tight. On MUT, I would just say, if you could have a backup right tackle or left tackle or guard that has really good run block, and or a fullback that has really good run block, you want to throw them where Rudolph or Irv Smith is, or both. You put maybe a backup right tackle that's really good. So say you have on MUT, you have a backup 82 overall for some dumb reason. I don't know, it's a gnat. Throw him here, throw your fullback on the other side, and take your fullback out, actually, if I can get to number 30, CJ Ham. You want to put in your running back, the fastest backup running back you have. So this would be really good if you run a 2 running back set, with a star running back and then Saquon. Basically what happens is set your audibles to, you're going to want stretch, you're going to want power, then L1 you're going to want ISO, and this one I'll say mesh, because mesh is cool. Go to stretch. Then 3-4, people like to run I don't know. Say they're trying to scheme against you with this cover 4 drop show 2, and you want to put them on their toes. Just works like this. And of course, if you have good run stick and you juke, I actually just forgot to juke, but if you have good run stick, this would be great. I actually have terrible run stick, so me showing you how to run stretch, so see it picks up there, and you get some yards that way. That's what it mostly looks like. Of course, you guys know what stretch looks like if you play online, because they're just doing it against you. So you don't need an explanation on how to run stretch. You just have to have good run stick and do that, and you'll be fine. Stretch is really good. Run it to the left too. I like the wide side, so you can bust outside. And then if there's holes, you just run ISO. And maybe if the C gap, I think it's called, is open, you'd run power. And if you want to throw, you'd run mesh. I would recommend audibling the circle guy so he doesn't do the little shit right there, because that would make it obvious that you're passing. And that's it. That is everything that I do. Everything that everybody does. And it's really, really good, and you just have to be really, really patient. You have to remember to always throw those tight end routes, because they're so important, because they're not just 7-yard gains, 5-yard gains. Sometimes they're even 2 to 3 yard gains, but they mean so much because they make the defense adjust. And you're just going to want to do that. And also make sure you're adjusting, and if they're running man, you're going to just want to create yourself and run man beaters. So throw some slants out there, do whatever. If I could actually just throw in one more thing before we conclude. Against cover 2, say they're running clouds and not hard flats. So I think here, here they were running clouds on pinch dog too. So say you're kind of getting cock blocked by the whatever it is. I'll do this. This is also a good play to run a corner and then the little out. But let's say that they're playing clouds and you're not getting that corner strike bomb that you'd want. Just Rudolph. And every single time, Rudolph. Make sure you high ball accordingly, low ball accordingly. But this is a really, really good one right here, guys. The corner and then the out. And it's just Rudolph every time. And then I guess here, oh, wait a whole ass minute. If you want the cloud to maybe pick up and go lower, then maybe that's why you'd put an out. So yeah, if you want to bring that cloud down, this is one way to bring the cloud down. Here you go. Live in the studio. There's going to be 2. That's going to be open, so the user might want to get that. And if they don't get that, then throw the corner. There you go. that will conclude it. Those are all the things, and hopefully you watch this all the way through. If you watch this all the way through, you're a fucking G, because there's no music, there's no, I don't know, funny commentary. I'm not funny. It's just the content is good, I guess. Yeah. So until next time, I think I'm gonna come out with some Run D next, and hopefully you find that entertaining too. So if you watch this all the way, fucking comment that you watched it all the way. There's gonna be no comments now because no one watched this all the way through. But if you did, thank you, and see you guys next time.